I schedule my day with working full-time and homeschooling my kids. So I work a traditional 9 to 5, I work in tech sales, I get to make my own schedule though, and I do work from home. Previously, I did work in an office and we still homeschooled, and that was a little bit crazier, but it was okay. Ultimately, because I am big on self-directed learners. As soon as you can read fluently, there are books in your hand and it is your responsibility to educate yourself. Mainly because I'm not trying to sculpt a bunch of students, I'm trying to sculpt lifelong learners, and I think that starts with owning your education and realizing the education that you get is in your hands. And it is an absolute privilege to have so much information at our fingertips, both in books and online. And though there was once a time that we had to hunt down information and really trust what we had, now we have to discern information in a way that we never had to before because there's so much of it. So I have two ways of sculpting my day depending on which curriculum we are using, because I'm always willing to switch it up. Some seasons of life are extra crazy, and I realized we were letting things go around the fall, so I decided to start using ACElist to kind of enrich my kids. When it comes to ACElist, I will say that it's an okay curriculum. It's all online, they do it on their tablets each day, it checks a box, basically. I wouldn't say the product you're going to get from an ACElist education is going to be a phenomenal education, however, you would be educated. My preferred curriculum is to have them take their curriculum, learn everything that they need to learn, come to me, and then we discuss it. However, late last summer and through the fall, I was traveling a lot more than normal. And then through the holidays, things were just kind of crazy, and I knew I needed something else in place other than our normal curriculum, just because I didn't have the time to sit down with them and really digest everything that they learned the way that I normally would. And I just sat down and figured out what my schedule will be for the next year when it comes to traveling for events and such, and I think that this year will be much more flexible. We'll be able to go back to our normal curriculum. The normal curriculum that I've used for 1,000 years is you read 2 chapters in a book every single day. Minimum. You're allowed to read more, of course. You do 1 lesson in math, and that's teaching textbooks. You do 1 history lesson, and usually something like Mystery of History. And you do 1 science lesson, and we use Apology of Science. And then after that, they can go and chase anything that they want. When they're done with all of their schooling, they come to me and we discuss everything that they've learned that day. The retention rate that they have when they're discussing things with me, doing it this way, is significantly better than any curriculum that I've used. As you can see by my curriculum choices right now, I'm not a huge fan of school-at-home curriculums. Meaning like you ordered all of the subjects from one place and you're going to do all of the lessons and you have the teacher's guide and you all sit at the table, blah, blah, blah. Only one of my children actually enjoys that kind of stuff, and not enough that we would ever modify curriculum around it. I feel like the fundamental philosophy behind homeschooling is creating a lifelong learner and a wholly educated child. Which means the primary person who should be benefiting from the curriculum is the child. That means choosing literature around things they like. And doing it that way actually makes it a lot easier so that even when I am working, they are doing something that they enjoy. It's far less resistance. Not no resistance, there's never no resistance, but less resistance. Ultimately, it's playing with it until you figure out what works for your family. Sometimes what works breaks societal norms, and that's okay.